Okay, I'm Mike Seymour. I'm the CEO of MSE Landscape. And really what this is about is what would our company do differently? And we're just picking this little vignette, this park that you have up at the top of the property. You've got Myoporum parvifolium. First thing, full of snails. Like they absolutely full of snails. It wouldn't take me but a minute. Oh, well, here you go. Okay, so you're wondering why it's not thriving as well as it could be, because it's being eaten all night long. And you look at the detail work here. Someone did at some point trim this, but no one actually came back and cleaned up your nose strip. You know, just little detail items like that really make a property pop. Want to talk about your lawns. So these lawns are predominantly warm season grasses. We've got Bermuda, I see some kikuya, and they're great sports turf because they'll hold up under, a lot of foot traffic. But the thing of it is they're going to brown off in the wintertime. Now, I don't know if that's something the association's okay with, but what we would recommend in areas like this is that in October, we lower the grass down and we overseed with perennial ryegrass. Now, perennial ryegrass is different than annual ryegrass in that it'll stay green year round and it won't die off in the summertime when you get that 90-degree heat. So if you overseed this in the first year, the second year you'll come back and overseed again, but you won't have to do as much. And ultimately what you'll have is a lawn that's a good sports turf because it's got the underlying Bermuda grass. Looking around here, let's just keep going. These are obvious irrigation coverage issues. It's pretty simple to see where the coverage is not getting the lawns 100%. We've got dry spots, we've got dead spots. And with warm season lawns, they reproduce with rhizomes and stolons, so they travel. So if they have a little bit of water, they would fill in. But again, the overseeding would take care of this. And of course, when we take over the community, we have certified irrigation technicians that are going to go through the entire system and let you know really what you have. This could be as simple as a clogged head over here, and we'll make sure we note that, take care of that, and get it up to snuff. So again, we acknowledge this is an older community, about 20 years old is what Anna's sharing with me. And with that, you've got 20-year-old plant material, and you've got acacia that's, if you look out over here, is really grown up in time. I think what we would do is come in twice a year and take that down and manicure it a little bit better, because it looks like a bad haircut right now. And I'd like to see that be neater and cleaner. And then again, if we just look at the different types of plant material in here, can you zoom in here? Really old, really woody. And at this point, when we talk about native plants, you want to cut them back in the fall. And this hasn't happened over the years. This is a form of Baccharis, but it's meant to be lower. But we would actually recommend that this get taken out and replanted with a different variety, either Baccharis or maybe just something a little bit more native with some drifts in here around the park. And again, the Myoporum, if you can get rid of the snails, and like this too, if you can get rid of the snails and actually fertilize it twice a year, I think it'll green up and you'll be pretty happy with it. There's a right way to do a renovation, particularly with warm season grasses, and I want to make sure we're very clear about that. We call it a grow and kill. Now, because this is warm season lawns like Bermuda or kikuya, they reproduce with rhizomes and stolons that can go down like 2 feet deep into the soil. So you need to use a non-selective translocative herbicide that will go down and get a deep kill on these roots. Because if you just use something that kills the tops, in 2 or 3 months, all of this is going to come back. And that, of course, would be horrible. So the way to actually do this is green it up, then chemically kill it, green it up again, see whatever you missed, and chemically kill that again. It's called a grow and kill. Do that at least twice. Then you come out and remove everything. Then you'll do your planting. And we also recommend, if it's not a huge expense, but if you put weed cloth down on top of everything before you put the mulch, you shouldn't have the return of these warm season grasses. And even if you did, it'd be very slight, and we can just spot spray to treat them. So that's the right way to do it. Again, we've got snails not just in the planters, but out in the lawns also. Obviously, where we have this turf that's failed, it's either a lack of irrigation coverage, it's probably irrigation. But ultimately, just snail bait around this community, and we don't use a toxic snail bait. What we use is safe for pets. It's really important because there are a lot of pets using these parks. But the snails are absolutely, they're just eating up the plant material and they're making things look a little bit weak. I would recommend here, because people have pets that they want to bring over here, that you do a really nice drought tolerant but blooming ground cover all the way across the front, maybe 20 feet in, and put that on netted fin tubing with the pressure reducers and the Y strainers, and so it's super low water use. And then back here, renovate this, overseed it with perennial ryegrass, and have a place for the pets to be, but with a setback from the street. You don't want the dogs out at the street on grass, so we'll pull a grass back here. Probably 2 or 3 valves here, so we pick one for drip and the other we just for irrigation for the turf. And I think that'd be a big win. It's really, for all rights and purposes, it's spent, but if you look closely, Pride of Madeira, they put out pups.
Okay.
So if you look underneath these mature Pride of Madeira, you'll find newer ones. See that little green one down there? Another one there. All in there. You can take these down. Again, they don't look great at first, but they will push back with new growth. And of course, no one deadheaded the flowers. This is back from spring. That didn't happen at all. Yeah, those flowers should have been taken off, what, 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
And again, I acknowledge this is sort of in a part of the community that's maybe it's not a priority for anybody.
It certainly would be for that homeowner.
Well, I imagine they love the blooms coming out of their window, but after that, they see this dead stuff for the rest of the year. I wouldn't be very happy with that. But with the Pride of Madeira, what you can do, there's a pup right there, you know. That's going to turn into a brand new, really healthy, young, vibrant plant. You can go in and thin this out and lower it back down. And you might even add a few new 5-gallon Pride of Madeira in here, but you could actually recreate this whole drift of Echium, and it'd be beautiful. Right now, it's kind of an eyesore.
For relatively low cost.
Yeah, that wouldn't cost much. So obviously the Myoporum was growing probably way over the Mo strip, and they came and trimmed it up. But see, there was no supervision to come back through and just go, well, wait a minute, guys, we missed this. You know, how much nicer would it be if that wasn't there? And that's just supervision. And again, our commitment on this job would be to have an on-site supervisor 5 days a week, correct? Full time. That's what we talked about?
Yes.
Good.